Hello and welcome to my 20th subscriber special. Today we will be taking a look at the G.I. Joe 50th Anniversary Chase for the M.A.S.S device 3-pack. Now starting off, we've got some file cards. We got one for Duke, the Heavy Weapons Trooper, and Cobra Commander. We also have the box, nothing too special, just a standard 50th anniversary box. Anyway, let's get that out of the way and talk about the figures. Now starting off, here we have the Screaming Duke. He's got some very nice cartoon colors, a jetpack, and all that. His accessories includes the flag, his base, his gun, his helmet, his jetpack, and the jetpack harness. Which, I guess you can take all that off for a good old Screaming Duke. Probably screaming about where all his shit is. Anyway, I'm gonna get his jetpack harness and helmet back on, and let's talk about articulation. Now, before we get into articulation, one detail I'd like to note is his head, as his head is one of the more unique heads that doesn't come with many Dukes, as this one is screaming rather than the standard blank face. Just thought I'd want to point that out, even though plenty of people already pointed that out. Let's focus. Anyway, let's get into articulation. He's got a ball-jointed head, so he can look down that far, up that far. He's got a hinge at the arm, so it can go up that far, down that far, 360 all the way around. A hinge at the elbow and a swivel at the elbow, and a swivel at the skin piece, which is different from some other ones, as some other Dukes have the wrist rotation at the wrist rather than here. Anyway, then we've got the standard chest articulation, is like goes forward that far, back that far, and since on a ball joint, go out that far. He's got the double jointed knees and the hinge and swivel at the ankles. Now, starting off for comparisons, here we have the Dollar General Snake Eyes. Actually, let's get him standing up straight. Alright, there he is. Snake Eyes looks to be a bit shorter. I'm not sure how all the Super Joe fanatics would go about that, but there it is. Here he is next to my bat, which is a bit shorter, but that's also probably because it doesn't have a base. But anyway, there's that. Here is Bazooka. And finally, here is my newest Joe, Goldhead Destro. Anyway, on to the next figure. Up next we have the Cobra Claws Trooper, or at least that's what the base calls him, as the file card labels him as Heavy Weapons Trooper. But I'm just going to be calling him Claws Troopers, that's what's on the base. Anyway, his accessories includes his helmet, his gun, his knife, and I guess you could say the camera thingy. Now I'm going to move that out of the way. I'll take this off and his base off. One thing I wish you could do is take off the web gear or parachute thing, but that's just not going to happen on this version of the figure. But yeah, he is a real nice Cobra Claus Trooper. I sort of want to find like one of those paper parachute thingies, open it up and like hang him up. It's sort of like he's fallen from the sky, like at the beginning of the 1987 G.I. Joe movie. But anyway, let's get into articulation. Just like Duke, he's got a ball-jointed head, so he can look down that far, up that far, and not a lot of motion that way, but he does have the 360. He's got 360 rotation at the arm as well as a hinge, so it can go up that far, down that far. He's got the hinge at the arm and swivel at the arm and a swivel at the wrist. His leg can go up that far and back that far. It's a bit hindered by his parachute web gear stuff. He's got a double jointed leg and the hinge and swivel at the foot. So anyway, let's get into some comparisons for him. So here is our Claus Trooper next to Duke. Looks very nice. I quite like that. Let's set him off to the side. Here he is next to Dollar General Snake Eyes, which again looks to be a bit shorter. As I said, I'm not sure if that's accurate. You Joe fanatics can leave that down in the comments. Here he is next to Bazooka, which looks like he would be taller than him if he were on a stand. Yeah. Here he is next to my bat. And finally, here he is next to the new boy, Goldhead Destro, who just fell over. Anyway, on to the final figure. So here we have Cobra Commander with his jet glider thingy. Now for his accessories, you've got his base, the bomb, his gun, the jetpack thingy, which has nothing painted on it, although I know some of them do have. I guess you consider this an accessory, and his backpack. Now let me get that off so we can go into articulation. Alright, so here's Cobra Commander. He's got the ball joint at the head, can look down that far, up that far, although I don't really know why you'd want to, unless you have him with his jetpack thing and you want to have him flying. Anyway, he's got the unhindered 360 at the head, just like the others. He's got the 360 at the arm, what feels ratcheted, and if you can hear it, what sounds to be ratcheted. Hinge at his arm. He's got the swivel and bend at the arm, and he's got the swivel at his wrist. One thing that these Cobra Commanders do have is a helmet that does not want to stay on. The chest swivel, which doesn't really look like it because it's covered up. But yeah, the standard chest stuff. His leg goes out that far and back that far. He's got double jointed knees, which are real nice, and the swivel and hinge at the foot. So anyway, now for comparisons with him, and then we will move into the overall. Alright, so starting off here we have Cobra Commander with Duke. They both look very nice with each other, especially if you get them up in an action pose. Here he is with his Claus Trooper, which looks shorter, and which makes sense as a leader should be nice and tall. And here he is with little short snake eyes, which is very, very noticeably shorter than Cobra Commander. Bazooka, which let's try and lift him up to about as tall as Cobra Commander at the base level, which, yeah, he's still shorter than Cobra Commander. The Bat. And finally, Deke Destro. Now, let's go into the overall. Overall, I do like this set, but one thing I do have to note is that my Cobra Commander does have quite a few quality control issues, like neither of his elbows being able to bend, which is pretty much the reason why I covered up his elbow entirely during articulation. And I'm not sure if it's just mine or what, but in most images, it shows his helmet being all chromed up, but mine doesn't really have that chrome. It's that, like, matte, sort of reflective looking silver. So, if you're looking out for this, just be mindful that, I'm not sure if it's just mine or what, but the elbows might not be able to bend because of quality control. But other than that, I love this set. I would say that the Cobra Commander is a highlight of the set if you do not have one yet, which at the time I didn't have one. The Screaming Duke is a bit neat, and you also get a nice trooper to go along with. So anyway, if you'd like this video, please like and subscribe, leave a comment if you wish, and wait to see the next video.